Well, hello there, all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays Empires of the Undergrowth, where, as you can see, well, our little army is coming back into the formicarium. Well, the good news is we have basically filled up all the chambers we had previously, and they're all at level 3 again. The only thing is, we do not yet have Matabele Ants, so please do pop down in the comments below which one of these two Matabele Ants you would like me to grab. The Anesthetist, that one, or the fast responder. I'm not sure which one is better in the formicarium challenge, so do pop down in the comments which one you would like me to take. And the one, of course, that gets the most suggestions, that is the one that we will then take. Alright, but today we are going to jump into another one of the Matabele Ant missions, or going to do triage once again. The thing is that we are going to do it with challenge mode on, and we are going to encounter the assassin bug, so join us for that. Of course, as always, on medium difficulty, challenge mode on, and we are going to go for fast responder. That is the one that we are going to go for. Alrighty, hello there, Matabele Ants.
Escorted by a small entourage of loyal soldiers, this young queen has set out to establish a new colony on the edge of the savannah. These are Megaponera analis, the Matabele Ants. They are large, fierce, and specialize in raiding termite nests.
Alright, so as we previously encountered, we have termitophagous specialist ants over here.
Excavations have uncovered a common earwig, Forficula auricularia, nesting in the soil. It will protect its young vigorously.
Okay, we are going to need a lot more food storage, though. That is what we definitely will need. Okay, so you can see there already we have run out of food storage. So let's just start digging out right over here before we head out on our first termite raid. I do love the mechanics of the Matabele Ants, like going out onto these termite raids, making sure that you get enough food, come back, you don't overextend yourself. It's actually quite a nice challenge to do all of these things as well. Just going to plop down some feeding chambers right over here, some food chambers, bring all the dead termites here, and let's just excavate some more.
The Matabele may be predators, but they are very picky about their prey. The other creatures nearby are insignificant compared to the vast and replenishable bounty locked within the local termite mounds. Raids are conducted at dusk and dawn, and the night is almost over. It is time.
Yeah, so as mentioned there by the narrator, most of the hunts or the raids would actually take place during dusk and dawn, so at sunset and sunrise. However, they have been known to occasionally...
Not far from the nest, assassin bugs, Acanthaspis patax, are on the move.
They're big.
Their name is well earned, and the Matabele would do well to steer clear. The nymphs are known for decorating their bodies with the corpses of their victims. This behavior intrigues the ants, particularly if the bodies are familiar. Overly curious scouts will often find themselves added to the pile.
Alright, so let's have a quick look at Mr. Assassin Bug here. Although we often call all kinds of creatures bugs, these guys are actually true bugs, and you can kind of see that with that right over there, the sucking mouth parts. That differentiates them from beetles. Beetles will have two things. They'll have a hard covering over their wings, generally, and they will also have chewing mouth parts instead of sucking mouth parts. Those are two of the big differences between the Coleoptera, the beetles, and the Hemiptera, the bugs over here. So yeah, of course, compound eyes it seems as well. Yes, indeed, some compound eyes in the front there. Relatively good vision. They do, I believe, rely on sight and smell to locate their prey. So they would be using their antennae as well to detect where the food is. Their movement will pick up as well with their great eyesight as well. And interestingly enough, only the nymphs, or the young ones here, will actually decorate their bodies with corpses. The adults will not. The adults have brighter colorations, possibly poisonous, so possibly aposematic coloration, but the nymphs do not have that. Instead, they will impale their victims, drink it dry, and then put it on the back of their bodies with a special sticky secretion that they also will have. Now, this is known as corpse camouflage. Basically, you are camouflaging yourself with corpses, which is not unique to these assassin bugs over here. I, for one, have also seen this in lacewing larvae. They also do this. They drink aphids dry, and then they put the bodies of their victims on their backs, which is quite macabre, if I say so myself. Now we'll talk about when we see one that actually has corpses on it, we will talk about why they actually do this. Alright, but for now, we've got...
There are 3 Macrotermes bellicosus termite nests in the vicinity. The Matabele must choose a target quickly and move with purpose.
Alright, so we've got enough food to actually put down another soldier. Just enough to do that. Okay, we do need more food placed around here. Okay. Ooh, that's a tiger beetle. I was like, wow, that's a very fast assassin bug, but that is in fact a tiger beetle. Let's just quickly pop into it. There we go. Notice, with the beetle here, not a sucking mouth part. Instead, chewing mouth parts. Also compound eyes, also very good vision in this case. Not all bugs and beetles have got good vision, but the tiger beetles definitely do. They rely heavily on it to catch their prey, or to spot their prey, chase it down, and then catch it with their very, very strong mandibles. They also then, as you can see there, have that very hard covering over their body. I often say that if you accidentally step on a beetle, it goes under your foot, and if you accidentally step on a bug, it goes under your foot. So a much more squishy sound with a bug than the beetle. Alright, let's go raid. And the idea then is that we are going to raid the nests that do not have assassin bug nymphs patrolling around them. So we just have some earwigs, some common European earwigs. We are going to hopefully kill them quite easily on our way. But of course the raids here by the Matabele Ants, they don't want to over-raid this termite mound and actually wipe them out. Instead, they just want to get enough food so that they can carry on with their things. They don't want to completely annihilate this termite mound. They want to be able to revisit it again and again.
Although much smaller than the ants, are far from easy game. They
Soldiers
have
should
their
be
own
coming
soldier
out.
castes whose job is to make the raids as difficult as possible for the ants. With durable head armor and
Here they
keen
come.
jaws, it is not uncommon for the defenders to maim and even kill raiding soldiers. As soon as the Matabele have enough food, they should leave without delay.
Okay, so there we go. Just before the soldiers arrived, we had our first raid completed. We didn't get those 3 food, but that's alright. We got quite a lot of food, which I am very, very happy about. Okay, we are going to also just upgrade our food stores so we can store more in here. And you know what, although it would be great to get more soldiers, we are going to just plop down some workers, some basic workers to help around the nest. That is what we are going to do as well. Okay, but our soldiers can come out again. There is another tiger beetle running around all over the place. And we're just going to come over to this site over here. And here we go. While we're waiting for our soldiers to reach the site of the raid, we are just plopping down some workers to help around the nest as well.
A few moments later.
Okay, and again, a
As
quite
the midday
successful
sun
raid.
rises overhead, the termites retreat into the cool depths of their fortified mounds. Raiding at this time would be troublesome, and there would usually be little reason for the Matabele to leave their nest. However, West African rainbow lizards, Agama africana, have come to bask in the clearing. If too many are allowed to gather, the evening raids may be disrupted.
Okay, so here we go. We are finally getting some more food into the nest, and we can plop down a few more soldiers. So every time we get a lot of food in, we also increase the number of soldiers we have. Now, let's actually get our soldiers all together here. Oh, stink ant tunnel again. Ah.
The Matabele workers have unearthed part of an African stink ant tunnel. This one appears to be deserted, a remnant of a past colony.
So yes, of course, the stink ants we had also encountered in the previous missions. They are also ponerine ants, so close relatives, relatively close relatives at least, of the Matabele ants. Like the Matabele ants here, I've also mentioned previously that that genus that they belong to only contains the African stink ant. And there we go, another relatively new queen and king over here, along with a bunch of workers that are starting out. So they're just starting out their little colony. Unfortunately, these termites don't stand a chance. So interesting that you've got new kings and queens establishing in this, what appears to also be an old termite mound. So it's not yet big enough. So if we look at it, you can see all these termite mounds. There's one over there, there's another one over there, you can see another one right at the back there. All of them are raised off the ground. The thing is, all these termite mounds start small. So a king and queen will establish a new kingdom, basically a new mound, and they start digging into the soil and they start excavating it and eventually bring mud to the top so that they can increase in size like that over there. However, what most likely happened here where the Matabele ants are, is that a new king and queen, a new reproductive couple, established a mound, but they did not get past that initial establishment phase. Remember, I've mentioned before that starting out a colony is the most vulnerable time for termites and ants and stuff like that. So if they can just get past that initial establishment phase, they're in the clear. However, it seems this mound did not get past that establishment phase. And so what we have here are a whole bunch of kings and queens also still trying to establish. And I find that fascinating because it ties in with what termites very often will do. These mounds we see in the back here could be around for potentially a few thousand years. However, each king and queen will only live for about 20 to 25 years, so they don't get to live that long. But generation after generation will establish in this mound. And we'll talk about it a little bit more when we play as the termites again. But after about 3 generations, there's so much inbreeding in the mound between generations of closely related termites that the mound basically collapses. So after about 3 or 4 generations, this mound will not be inhabited by the same colony of termites. Instead, it becomes vacant. And this is a great spot to establish a new colony if you are a new king and queen. So what most likely happened is that in here where we are, new kings and queens of the termites made their way into the nest before the Matabele ants actually came in. They found little entrances, they made their way into these tunnels. And
As
now
dusk begins to set in and the dusty earth cools, the termites march out of their mounds to collect dead wood and leaves.
Yes.
Time for the Matabele to replenish their larders.
So now they're trying to establish a new colony. However, unfortunately for them, well, we already have a bunch of Matabele ants living in this termite mound now. Okay, so the termites, of course, they're becoming active again. They're not active in the middle of the day. They are vulnerable to the UV radiation or to the sunlight. Especially the minor workers would be very, very susceptible to it. I've got footage, for example, and I will at some point make a little documentary on that, or a little video of it. I've got footage of the major workers going about their business, not in the middle of the day, but after that, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They were becoming more active again. Okay, we just have to watch our trails because we've got an agama over there. We've got an assassin bug over there. Okay, so we're going to avoid that mound. There's another assassin bug there, and there's a tiger beetle to this side. Okay, so we're obviously heading to the colony that does not have an assassin bug at it. Okay, or on the way there. Unfortunately, we do have a tiger beetle on the way there. So let's...
A tiger beetle,
Yeah.
Dromequida elegantia, has spotted the ants.
Perfect.
This exuberant red hunter possesses all the usual traits. Keen eyesight, long, powerful legs, and efficient carving jaws.
Okay, so we've cleared that one there. We're now just heading on our way. Again, walking in these columns, it's quite awesome. I love seeing the Matabele ants doing this because in real life they would make these very long marching columns to get usually about 2 or 3 wide to get from point A to point B, from their nest to where they are raiding the termites. Very, very effective raiding party. Okay, here we go. Grabbing our first individuals. Okay, the soldiers are on their way, so that means we need to vacate the premises once more. But thankfully we did get a few termites. The thing is, this does now become challenging because we now can't go up to the top one here to raid it because, we've got an assassin bug over here. So maybe what we should do is bring in a few more soldiers and let's see whether we can actually take out... Oh, this is a bad idea, Will. This is a very, very bad idea. But let's see whether we can take out an assassin bug.
As night draws in, nocturnal scrubland specialists emerge from their hiding places to hunt. For the colony, the benefits of facing down these beasts are far outweighed by the cost in soldier casualties. Fortunately, the nest entrance is too small for the largest and most dangerous arthropods to crawl through. The ants will be safe underground.
Okay, now, we've got big earwigs, we've got the termites. This colony that we had just raided, they are no longer protected by soldiers. So normally the soldiers would actually stay around. And interestingly enough, I have observed when I was a student many years ago, so that's 15 years ago I observed that. I observed that if there are allets flying, so if you've got the winged termites leaving the nest, in particular then I noticed it, but it seems to be whenever they are disturbed. If you've got soldiers in an area, especially at the mound entrance, and they notice that there are predators about, they actually bang their heads against the ground. And I observed that, and I thought, well, that is very interesting. I thought they were actually like sending vibrations through the soil to actually notify the rest of the colony that, listen guys, there's danger here, which is quite amazing that I saw that many years ago, and I may have a footage of that as well. Okay, guys, it is time to head back. Leave the termites. Here come the soldiers. Leave them. Ah, you poo. And here come all the major soldiers. Yeah, you don't want to mess with them, eh?
The Matabele have crossed paths with an alligator-backed scorpion, Hottentotter.
Okay, well,
wandering out into the open tonight on the hunt for insects, this sturdy arachnid uses 2 muscle-packed pedipalps for crushing its prey. And if they don't do the job, it can strike from above, spearing victims with its tail-mounted stinger, delivering a dose of paralyzing venom.
I do still find it fascinating, though, that the pedipalps here, the pincers of a scorpion and the pincers of a crab, are basically an example of convergent evolution, where with the scorpion here, these pincers are made from the pedipalps, some of the mouth parts of the scorpion, whereas with crabs, it is the first set of legs of the crab that forms those pincers or those claws.
The sky brightens and the nighttime scavengers begin to dissipate, leaving space for Matabele raiding columns.
Let's see, we still have a lot of dangerous things around. We still have assassin bugs there.
In most ant colonies, injured soldiers are left to die on the battlefield, but the Matabele do not forsake their sisters so easily. Ants wounded in battle and unable to walk release pheromones calling their comrades for help. If unburdened raiders are available, the casualties are carried home and nursed back to health.
There are a few soldiers still around, a few minor soldiers. We should be able to take them out, no problem. We just have to get all our soldiers over here. And you know what, we're going to get our medics over here as well. But there are a few minor soldiers also protecting the termites here. I find that fascinating. They are actually here. And here come the major soldiers. Okay guys, it's time to head back. With some termites in our mouths. Now the Matabele ants here will generally just have 1 termite in their mouths, whereas the stink ants actually cram a whole bunch of termites into their mouths when they are conducting raids. So they don't actually just have 1 in their mouths. I do want to see whether we can actually take out an assassin bug. So, not going to go to this side there because there's an earwig, there's an assassin bug, and there's a tiger beetle over there. Oh, okay. 2 earwigs on this side. Oh, it's not our day, is it? Anyway, here we go. Let's try to take out this earwig first, and then from there we are going to go to the assassin bug. It does have less health than the tiger beetle over here, so we'll see. And that makes sense. I mean, the assassin bug here is a true bug. It does not have a hard shield over its body. I really want to see whether we can take out this assassin bug. So let's see here. So this assassin bug should be executing us. You see, there we go. That went well. Okay, that went very well. So they would pierce into the ants and then actually kill them that way, suck them dry. And once they're dry, they would put the husks on their bodies. Okay, so we've got 2 things we are killing here. We've got the tiger beetle also.
The temperature outside is rising, and the termites retreat inside to escape desiccation.
Guys, this is our last chance to grab them. Grab a few. So there we saw this trying to sting the termite, trying to sting it to actually paralyze it. Oh, okay. You guys are just stupid. Okay, guys, it's time to head home. Grab the food and run. Abandon your 3 silly sisters up there. Okay, so of course, if you are a predator and your prey is only active at a certain time of day, well then, you would also be active that time of day. You wouldn't be active when they are not active. So the Matabele ants here follow the rhythms of the termites, which is absolutely fascinating. It seems we don't have any other assassin bugs around at the moment, which is interesting. Okay, so let's head underground once more and dig out to this bunch of termites over here. Now, these little workers of the Matabele ants would be pretty pointless. I mean, they're not going to go onto the raids. They are nest workers after all. Only really the soldiers that we have will send into battle. But the little workers here, they're very important for excavating tunnels, taking eggs to the brood chambers, all those things that they need to do. Okay, we are just going to hopefully excavate some termites.
The termites will soon venture out once again to forage. For the hungry Matabele ants, now is the time to strike.
Okay, we need a lot of food in storage before nighttime comes around again. And I think nighttime is almost here. Oh, look at that, look at that. You see, There is corpse camouflage. So this assassin bug over here, this assassin bug nymph, and you know it's a nymph because, well, it doesn't have fully developed wings yet. The adults actually have got proper wings, they can fly. This nymph over here has got a whole bunch of, well, dead Matabele ants, it seems, on its backside. So it had caught them, it had drunk them dry. This is just the husk of the Matabele ant. It also then secreted sticky substances and actually dabbed it against that and then splat it on the backside here to actually attach it. Now it is moderately firmly attached, so as they're walking around it's not going to come loose, but they can, if they are grabbed by predators, they can just release that to some extent, just like ripping off a band-aid basically. It can be ripped off their backside and they can escape while the predator is stuck with this ball of dry ants in their mouths. So it is a nice distraction as well. Now, why would the assassin bug actually do this? Now, there appear to be three main theories, and the one is that it is actually a way of masking the smell of the assassin bug here. So they're trying to not smell like an assassin bug, instead they're trying to smell like ants, basically, so that the predators of the assassin bug will leave them alone. So there is that potential, although that hasn't been tested, but that is a potential explanation. The second explanation is that it breaks up the outline. Now, this one over here has got a bunch of it, but it doesn't have a massive covering around it yet. If it were to catch a lot more ants and actually stick it onto the back, it would really break up the outline of this assassin bug. But any predator, like a bird, for example, hopping along here or flying over, will see, oh, look, that is an assassin bug. I can eat that. That's fine. But if it's like a weird ball, it's like, what the hell is that? I don't know. I'd rather not eat that. So it may be to break up the outline. Make it not that they're trying to look like something, but they're trying to look like nothing, which is interesting. I mean, stick insects try to look like sticks. This is not trying to look like anything in particular. So it's like, okay, well, I don't know what that is. I'm just going to leave it alone. It's clearly not something I can eat. That is another potential explanation of why they are doing this. But the third explanation, which actually goes against that one of trying to look like nothing, is that they may actually be trying to look like a whole swarm of ants. And, well, it makes sense. I mean, there's a whole bunch of ants on his backside, so clearly it is trying to look like a bunch of ants. And I've seen a plant that also tries to look like it has a whole swarm of ants on it. And that plant is known as the Sifkop candelar, which means sieve-headed candelabra. And it looks like that. And on it, it has a whole bunch of little rings of parts of the flowers. When they dry out, they break off and they get attached onto these stems. And then when the wind blows, you've got all these little things whirling up and down along those stems that they are wrapped around. And it looks like the whole bush is full of ants. And maybe a way to try and prevent antelope from eating them. So maybe these assassin bugs are trying to look like a swarm of ants. And the reasoning for this is that the jumping spiders, the Celticidae, they seem to go for assassin bugs that are not armored, or basically don't have a bunch of ants stuck on their bodies. So the ones that are naked are more vulnerable to those jumping spiders. The jumping spiders don't want to attack a bunch of ants because, well, they will be swarmed and killed. So maybe this is a good strategy to use against jumping spiders. Jumping spiders, of course, very good eyesight. So even from a quite distance away, they'll be able to see, oh, ants, lots of ants, and they leave the assassin bug nymph alone. Now these guys, this species is not the only species that does this. It seems that a lot of the species in the family to which they belong, they actually do this corpse camouflage, as it is called. It's a form of masking. Masking means you try to hide your appearance by basically putting on a mask. In this case, the mask you are wearing are the corpses of your victims, which is very, very macabre, but I find that absolutely fascinating. Okay, cool. Now, where to go? Because we clearly need to go somewhere, because nighttime is going to be approaching and we need a lot of food. Now, let's quickly run up. Come on, guys. Attack the termite column before they make it into their nest. Okay. Marvelous. Here we go. Okay, we want to kill a lot of them and drag them back to the nest before the soldiers arrive. And I think that is our cue. Grab and run, guys. Grab and run. There we go. That was a very successful raid. Even if I say so myself. So now we may be able to get a few more soldiers and get ready for another raid. Not to this side. Clearly not to this side. There's an Agama. One naked one and one with some corpses. Now, I'm not going to attack this colony either. I mean, look at the soldiers there. So, what's the other... Oh, goodness. 2 again. Okay. I don't know where to go now. I do like raiding this one. So let's come to this side. There is an Agama over here. But we are going to try and just chase him away. I think dusk is falling though. So, ooh, this is going to be interesting. Here come our Matabele Ants trying to attack the Agama.
The rainbow lizards are immense and more than capable of dealing with a few ants. The Matabele colony will need to make a significant show of force and target the lizards one at a time to stand any chance of driving them away.
Yes. Okay, so of course that green cloud we saw there, thanks Notolo for pointing out that that is in fact the stink that the Matabele ants create, basically poisoning their attacker in that case. There was also a bit of a green cloud there, so that's one of these assassin bugs dead, and this is the second one, and it is also dead. Now we are just going to attack the termites once more.
It is quiet tonight.
Oh dear.
Usually the undergrowth would be bustling with nighttime predators, but few have surfaced. Something has them spooked.
Alright, so we have to finish our raid here and head back to the colony because we may be in danger. Or not maybe, we are in danger. Okay guys, it is time to head back. I think the soldiers are on their way. Grab your food and run home.
Tremors can be felt from within the nest.
Yes.
There's a creature on the move, and it's getting closer.
Okay, thankfully we've got a lot of food incoming. That means we can also field some more soldiers. Oh, it is here, it is here.
A fully grown sun spider, Siria Kisalinji, has found the nest.
Oh, hello there. Hello there, you beauty. Oh, wow, look at that. You can actually see this so nicely. So there are the 4 chelicerae over there, the top 2 ones and the bottom 2 ones. You can see it is toothed, so it is quite fearsome in appearance. I absolutely love these guys. I mean, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So apparently it does, you know, it pinches you. It does not have venom glands. So despite having such formidable things over there, those are not venom sacs. So they've got no venom whatsoever. And they really, really are quite harmless to us as humans. Now, ooh, can we see the underside? That is the question. Not really. Okay. But this, of course, a solifuge, also known as a camel spider or a sun spider. Interesting that it is called the sun spider because, well, the sol in solifuge refers to sun, but fuge, like refuge or refugium, that would actually refer to hiding away. So solifuge means the one that shelters from the sun, because they don't like being out in the open in the sun. If you encounter one, they very often run towards you, but they're trying to get into your shadow. They're trying to hide away from the light. They don't like being out in the open where they are vulnerable. So, yeah, we've got these chelicerae over there. And then we've got, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it seems like 5 pairs of legs. However, these are not the 9th and 10th legs. Instead, these are the pedipalps. The things that in scorpions form the pincers. Here, in the sun spiders, they will be using as little antennae, basically, feeling around them. So that's the function of these little pedipalps around over here. When they run around, they will tap this in front of them to feel where they are going and feel like a blind man's stick. Basically, they're feeling around them. Now, they can see them, and they do have eyes there as well, but this is just another sense, a touch, basically. Okay, so we've got to mount a defense against this female sun spider over here. So of course, despite being called a spider or sun spider, it's not an actual spider. They are arachnids, but they are not actual true spiders, and you know that because they don't form silk, they don't have venom glands. There are a few other differences, but as mentioned, they don't have silk, or they don't have spinnerets, they can't produce silk, and therefore they're not true spiders. Alrighty, here we go.
Found the nest. She's looking for a burrow to lay her eggs, and this is the perfect spot. Unable to fit through the entrance, she'll need to dig her way in.
And here she comes.
This could be disastrous for the colony.
Okay, for some reason I was still... Ooh, look at that, munching on our
The spider has
ant.
bulldozed through the nest entrance and into the tunnels. She must be stopped.
Okay, so I made a bunch of mistakes there. All my soldiers were heading towards my queen, and they were all set to not attack. So, yeah. Oh wow, those are a lot of dead ants. Oh my word. Luckily we have a lot of food stored away, so we can jump on her and kill her. Okay.
It is finished.
It
the
is.
sun spider was finally bested by the ants, but not...
Okay, we can't really see the underside, but we can also see lots of little hairs, and some of the solifuge spiders are very, very hairy indeed.
But not before decimating the nest. The cavern she left in her wake is now likely to attract even larger creatures. The colony had better be prepared.
Alright. Indeed. So we are just clearing up our act over here. Hopefully our medics are able to actually rescue these dead ants over here, or dying ants. Thankfully, it's not too far to take them. And you can see here our numbers at the moment, 36 plus 4. So 4 rescued or recuperated soldiers. And here we go, the medics taking some more away as well. Let's actually plop down a few more medics so that we can do raids effectively. Alright, now let's get our raiding party back up here.
With the sun spider threat eliminated, the Matabele have an opportunity to raid freely while the termites are active. They should make the most of it while they can.
Indeed we should. You can see that already we're up to plus 10 of recuperated soldiers, plus 11. We've got a lot of them coming in now. And that is where we will be calling it a day, everybody. So join us on Tuesday as we try to wrap up this mission. Of course, Nick and I will be live streaming Enshrouded again this Sunday. So come and join us for a nice, relaxing live stream. 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock South African time. Really hope you enjoyed this episode. It was quite an interesting one to record. If you enjoyed it, please do give a like below. And then also comment with any tips you may have, or anything you'd like me to talk a bit more about, or any questions you may have. And of course, if you haven't yet, please do subscribe to support the channel as well. And until next time, everybody, stay safe. I'll see you all soon. Bye.